Hey folks, I just thought I'd do this little video. Don't know if it's occurred to most people, but you know, if you look on the internet, mostly people are either talking about Comet Ison, what it's going to do, where it's going to come from, what is it, what are the pictures. Half the people are saying it's this, the other half the people are saying it's that, and then the rest of the world seems to be talking about Syria and what they're calling the impending World War III. But strikes me that, you know, it's quite interesting that all this is all ramped up with Syria and what have you, as this comet Ison's approaching Mars, which, as we know, is the well known as the god of war. But there's another side to Mars. But before we just look into this, just want to show you what this is looking like, as I managed to make this thing work, which is this NASA JPL thing. So it says there September the 2nd. I'm sure you've seen this hundreds of times. Let's move this down or along. Right, there's Ison getting closer to Mars, and according to this, it's that it's actually closest to Mars 29th of September, and it's just about on the 1st of October. Now, I've seen quite a few videos about stuff that's supposed to be going on the 1st of October. Is that the day when they've got to have all this in place and that in place, FEMA camps, practice runs? I don't know. Just be aware of that. And also, it seems to have ramped up because the powers that be like to use dates and stuff in the sky, in the solar system. And you know, I've looked at where Mars actually is in the actually in the sky, and I had to get the Internet Explorer thing up to make this thing work. But I'll just quickly nip over here to the other one, Firefox, where I've found this ephemeris to show you. And these are where the actual planets are in September 2013. I don't know if you can see, I can hardly see. But basically, we've got Mars here, and it says that on the 1st of September, sorry, it was at 2 degrees of Leo. Now, if you're wanting to use the energy of Mars for a negative sort of reason, you wouldn't really want it in the sign before, which is Virgo. Not that there's anything wrong with you know, Mars in Virgo. It's just that in Leo, it's, as you can imagine, Mars in Leo is more energized. You know, think Leo sort of sign of king, think Mars sign of energy. And it's just more energized. But there's another thing I want to talk to you about here, and that is the alternative use of Mars. Because I just watched another video, which I'll put the link underneath, by someone called Carl Kun 1977 or something like that, and he's in the UK, and he was talking about how he'd been on these sort of missions with people to protect people who were being evicted by the bailiffs. And he was talking about action and love and the whole thing. And, you know, let's just think Mars in Leo. You know, Leo is the heart. Mars, apart from being associated with warlike things, is really the doing planet. You know, it's the verb of the zodiac, you could say. It is the doing planet. If you've got Mars is where your action is, and it's also sexual. So the thing is, if you think about Mars in Leo, we could all sort of focus our energies rather than focusing on what may or may not be called World War III, and get focusing on action of love instead. And I suppose sex. I mean, I'm not just talking either about just physical sex. You know, all sorts of interactions go on with people on all sorts of planes of their existence, and that's a whole other subject for another video. But you can have lots of interaction with people, not on a physical level, and you know, whenever you get any sort of plus minus interaction, it is a kind of a sexual exchange. It's not just physical. So the fact that we've got Comet Ison about to electrically impulse the planet Mars, you know, think about that and think, you know, it could actually activate us. It's in Leo. Leo is all about, apart from lots of other things, one of the things, Leo rules the heart. So heart energy. I'll put this video underneath for you from Carl, talking about, you know, evictions and it's all about action, isn't it? It's about doing, at this point in time, doing whatever you can do to divert that energy away from thinking about bloody war. Because at the end of the day, you know, if everybody was busy doing something else, the soldiers were busy doing something else, and it's about love, isn't it, at the end of the day? You know, I hate to sound terribly ignorant, but I haven't really focused on what this Syria war is about, but I think it's about one lot of Muslims versus the other lot of Muslims. It's a civil war, isn't it? You know, if they could just forget about their differences, it's back to duality again. And I have to say, I'm so glad that, you know, we've had our opposition chappie, Ed Miliband, or Millie Edband as my friend calls him, who's stopped Cameron charging along in there with Obama. I'm really pleased about that. And just one more word of something I'd just like to say. Just be careful with the whole war thing. I'm not saying any of us lot watching this are going to be in need of this, but I was just had the news on in the background earlier, just because I thought, well, I was working. I just thought I'd have it on, half listened to what it said. Now, I was only half listening because I was doing something that made noise at the time. And I heard something about, you know, in America, they said this was terrible to stand by and not get involved. But the point is, we don't know who's planted what gas there. It's duality. I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, I'm really pleased that, you know, Ed Miliband, and everyone that voted against Cameron was able to resist that urge. It's very egotistical, I always find, of a lot of these politicians to go charging off, we are going to be seen to be doing. And I absolutely can't stand it. It's far more, it shows a bigger man who's not afraid of being called that thing that everybody loves to call everybody who doesn't want to rush off to war weak. In actual fact, there's all kinds of strength. Think of the, you know, I'm just thinking about a lion's strength and Aslan, stuff like that. Anyway, I better be quiet now because I'll be going off into absolute waffle mode. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention, that maybe everybody knows this anyway. That it's just interesting that the powers that be have really ratcheted up this Syria thing. And the date to notice is when it's actually going to be right on top of Mars. Just to go back to this, is it's about the 20th. Have we just done this earlier in the video? I can't remember. Yeah, there you go. Look, it goes past there. So it's sort of end of September, beginning of October. So yeah, as above, so below. So yeah, there you go then, people. Thanks then. Cheers. Bye.